MacroVoices 516. Craig Tyndale. Critical Materials, a Strategic Analysis. Please, once you're done watching this, please listen to this episode. After you listen to it, rewatch this video and then leave an interactive comment with me. If it's if it's highly argumentative, high debate that could lead to an argument, then I'm not going to participate with that much. If uh, uh, it's proactively engaging in attempts to uh, enrich both of our situations, that's what I'm looking for. So the other thing that I want to let you know is that I am what I am recording here is not a summary of this. It's not, I'm not even claiming it to be an accurate description of it. I am recording what I got out of it. What I got out of it. So there's going to be some things that I'm going to say that these guys did not say, and I don't necessarily think they would agree with. However, through watching this, I came to this conclusion. So with that, let's get into it. And let's get into it. This is not as I'm just learning to use this software, so it's not organized as cleanly as the next one will be. So MacroVoices, Greg Tyndale, he's a private investor. He writes this, I guess, report, and he's a private investor, and he has nothing to sell, but he is publishing. He isn't publishing. He is publishing, I guess, investing work. I don't know. However, what I do know though is that to be on MacroVoices, it's a pretty big deal. And after listening to the whole thing, this was really cool. This is really cool, and that's why I continue to love MacroVoices. I'm so happy that I have been listening to MacroVoices for all these years because it has been instrumental when I would listen to it, and I wasn't necessarily being taught new terms directly, but I would hear terms that I wasn't familiar with, and I would go out of my way to figure out what they were and starting to piece together a macroeconomic education. So thank thankfully, thank God, Eric Townsend brings on Craig Tyndale, and Craig Tyndale is this cool investor, writes this, and it gets the attention of uh, the current administration, and it's basically China took control of the supply chain. Supply chain. China has about 50 to 90% control of certain items. And these items could be a variety of items, but um, I can't quite remember if it was specifically just like critical or like was it rare earth minerals or no, it's more than just rare earth minerals because here we have copper, scandium is one example. Uh, so they're controlling with scandium, they're controlling I think about 90% of this material, and it's used in these combat drones. And this something that Brent Johnson was talking about was uh, or one maybe it was Brent's yeah, somehow through Brett Johnson, there was this. I came in contact with this idea that AI is now a uh, military component, right? So it's like it's no longer it's there's something more to it. So anything with it's dealing anything dealing with war, we're continuing war. It's obvious, XLI type of situation. So that's a problem. It's a problem for the U.S., right? And then also there was an example made on copper, and So that's another example of why XCF is such a wonderful stock to be interacting with on all levels because of stuff like this. And we can pull up let's quickly pull up stock chart of FCX. This will give us all the information that Thinkorswim has. So we see back here around 1994 all the way to 2026 current trading. Each pardon me, each red or green candlestick is 1 month of trading, and you can see all the years throughout the bottom of here. This is giving us an idea, a quick image of where the majority of the transactions took place. So we see right there, and then this gap right here is a lot of transactions here. And so what this would indicate and what I'm watching for with FCX at the moment is it going to see this channel it was in here? Is it going to come back down here to this channel and 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 be more into this area of trading, or is it going to make a new area and there's going to be one of these pockets here? And it's possible there's going to be one of those pockets there because here we have this like demand. There's like this demand here. So he goes into a lot of detail into these things, giving examples and the concept of data centers came up, and also and then with the concept of data centers coming up and China taking over the supply chain, um, I believe I heard him say freedom requires supplies. So the data centers already show a certain amount of rationing beginning by rationing defined by the electric the price of electricity is already rising up. The price of power is rising up, and so it's showing there's bullish demand on the power because it's from the data centers, which is only going to increase. That pressure's putting up there, and there's only a certain amount available. So the price goes up, and it's going and the price will continue to go up because this is now um, a military component of the government and a military component. So the electricity is gonna flow here, and then at the moment, the way that the rationing has started is by increasing prices, inflationary prices, which in the beginning it causes the market to kind of grumble this type of thing, but over time because it's the government's military stuff, then it just the it's just a lower standard of overall lowering the standard of living that has to happen at that time in the whole governmental you know situation. So that leads me to realizing freedom requires supplies. Supplies are limited. China's controlling about 50 to 90% of the supplies, and from there, this is creating a new society. The new society is not um, completely formed yet. It's in the process of forming. We're in the process of a new society forming, and then from there, because it's a new society is forming, we have some idea of what it will be like. Obviously, it's going to be high surveillance state and its lack of freedom because freedom requires supplies. There's this global war going on, and another country is in control of the majority of our supplies, and the government is its own kind of living organism in a way. So it's going to keep doing whatever it needs to do to feed itself. It needs these data centers because that's part of the new arms. It's part of the new combat data centers. Yep. Right. Oh, perfect. And so this war machine XLI, it's going to in aerospace and defense. Here we go. Aerospace and defense, AI as weapon systems, military military precedence. So the data centers take precedence because of the war that that the financial system XLF is funding and then this new our new society, a Palantir type society. We see this Lord of the Rings, Antichrist coming in society where Peter Thiel is out talking about the Antichrist, and Elon Musk is putting microchips in people's brains. And these guys have done business before, and um, and there's more of this. I guess you might call it lore. It would be lore. This lore of is it Nick Land and other names that start coming up with it when exploring that name and the lore behind these names. And to whatever degree that is lore in reality, I'm not 100% sure. But what I am 100% sure of is that's what's there, and that is very telling in and of itself. So, what does that lead me to? Innovate. It's time to get very, very, very innovative. It's time to get very, very innovative. So that's what I'm doing. And thank God I moved from Hawaii back to Michigan now. Thank God. Thank God. So, um, from there, I have ways that I'm working on innovating. I've already began a huge innovation project when August 2025 I relocated from 25 years in Hawaii to living in West Michigan. And so that from there, you know what is next? Well, what is next is some amount of acquiring land here in West Michigan, farmish, and looking for ways to monetize that land and have that creating a sustainable uh, um, place that can weather a storm, weather any type of storm, so it put in position and to last in the land and position to last through what? War. Um, I, overall, MacroVoices number 516 has updated me personally on what MacroVoices. I don't know what number it was, but it was several, maybe over a year ago, where it was just stated. Eric Townsend just stated that I forgot. Maybe two of his guests had brought up the idea that World War III had already started. I think Pimpa Melgren was one, and then I don't know if it was Mike Green or someone else. So it's been several months, maybe even over a year, where I've personally been under I've been running running my life with the assumption that we're already in World War III. Now I'm purposely trying to word that in a way that is not up for debate because I'm stating what my assumption is. I'm not stating that my assumption is a fact. So I'm running with this assumption though, so much that I've relocated my life preparing for whatever. And I would say with the current situation with the the red and the blue teams with the red and the blue positions and what's going on in that situation, I would say I've been pretty accurate. In that regard, I mean, I think I'm I'm happy I made the move. I'm happy I made the move. So that's my quick takeaway of Macro Voices 516. I'm going to leave a link to it in the description of this video. And I will also leave a link to it at the like 1 minute mark of this video. So if you want to just rewind it to the 1 minute mark, you can uh, get that link up there or in the description down here. Watch it and consider leaving some sort of comment or that we can engage in some sort of discussion. And if it would be to both of our interests, we can get on Zoom and do screen sharing or whatever, have a conversation based on this information. Aloha.